Hey there guys, what's going on? Talking Flicks here, and look, Bottom Thing is back, and today we are going to be doing another movie review, joined by little me, little Evan here, and it is the 6th MCU review. The climax of Phase 1 is what we are reviewing today, and that movie is directed by Joss Whedon, which is called The Avengers, released on May 4th, 2012. It's the epic culmination of Phase 1, that the hype was immense for this film, and I'm going to be answering the question in this review, did it live up to the hype? We're talking about the Avengers here. We're going through the entire MCU and we're reviewing it. And so we're going to start with the background info here. 6 out of 23. That's a good way to start. Nice. Let's start with the background info. And the budget here is $220 million. Opening weekend, it did $207 million. That is domestically. Domestically, it did $623 million. Overall, worldwide, it did $1.518 billion. So this is the movie that really started making the MCU the money machine that it is. So, cha-ching for Disney and, or was it still owned by Paramount at this point? I forget. But, hey, it made a lot of money, so Marvel was happy. Next up, the first thing here is that Ant-Man were originally meant to be in the script of the Avengers, Ant-Man the Wasp, but, the script was getting too packed, too many characters, and Joss Whedon's like, no, we can't do this. And the next thing is the movie is going to be 3 hours, but Joss Whedon cut half an hour out, and most of that time was spent with Captain America, and those scenes got deleted, which were about, him adjusting to the times, and those scenes were instead put in Captain America, the Winter Soldier. And the next thing is Hawkeye was supposed to have more development, but unfortunately it got cut from the film, so he didn't get as much to do. He was definitely got the short end of the stick in terms of characters in this film. I thought he was the weakest out of the 6. And the last thing here is Whedon was actually considered to direct the first X-Men movie, which came out back in 2000. And at the end of the day, they chose to go with Bryan Singer, clearly, and Whedon went on to instead direct The Avengers, and honestly, I think he got the better deal. So let's start off with the good here. Killing it, and The Avengers does kill a few things, but first things first, before we get to the good, spoilers! There are spoilers in this review, so if you have not seen Avengers, which came out back in 2012 for some reason, if you haven't seen it, spoilers. So, you've been warned. So let's get into the first good thing, and that is the team dynamics of the film. The team really interacts so well with each other. That's thanks to the witty dialogue, the acting, the directing, and that's all very well done in this film, and so I can really praise it for that, because every character felt like how they would act in a group like this. They all felt like they were taken from the previous movie, and they were put together, and it truly feels like that, and it feels cohesive with the rest of the movies, and so I really can't praise them enough for how well they did with the character dynamics in this movie. I thought it was all very well done, so good job Joss Whedon and everyone else that worked. Next up is the action. The action's freaking great in this movie, especially with Hulk. The action sequences with Hulk are just so much fun, and this is, I think, the best Hulk in the entire MCU. Either that or Thor Ragnarok. The action scenes with him are so good. The action scenes in general are all fantastic throughout this film. Every action sequence is great, especially the final battle, which is just legendary. That is arguably the most iconic action sequence in the entire MCU. It really is. It's just so iconic and so synonymous with the MCU and the Avengers overall. So really great action sequences, and I can't praise that final battle enough. It's just so satisfying seeing all these characters come together and fight Loki and the Chitauri is just epic. And let's get on to our third thing here, and the third thing is a surprisingly good thing with the film. But if you know Joss Whedon, then it's not very surprising. And I'm just trying to kill time here because it should be popping up very soon. And that third thing is the comedy.
And I will not be bullied by that.
Puny God.
Yeah, that clip with Loki I just showed you was hilarious, and there's plenty of other good scenes, especially with Robert Downey Jr., because he's so good as the character of Iron Man. He's a very comedic character. So much good comedic timing with the characters. And, oh shoot, I was supposed to pause this. What's the matter with me? But yeah, a lot of good comedy in this film. Joss Whedon knows how to do good comedy. Not like in Justice League. This is legitimately good comedy for the Avengers, and here it works. And the fourth good thing is going to be Loki. Loki was the only properly good villain before this movie. The properly well-received, great villain. And so I thought it was smart for them to choose him, because he was so conniving, so, not really menacing, but fun to watch. He's so energetic, and a really entertaining character. He's not the most menacing of villains, no, but he's still a good villain, and provides exactly what the movie needs him to provide. Absolutely, and I thought he was perfect for this movie, and he is still one of the best MCU villains, if you ask me, and that is because of the Avengers. Not because of the first Thor, because of the Avengers. And the fifth thing is going to be set up for the future. What I want to compare this to is Zack Snyder's Justice League in this case. Is Zack Snyder's Justice League had the epilogue and set up a lot of future stuff, which we may or may not get, I'm not sure. But it sets up a lot of stuff, and, you know, it kind of just feels tacked on to the movie, where Avengers has a few things sprinkled in there, and it sets up a little bit for the future, and it still feels like a cohesive one movie, not really prioritizing setting up for the future, unlike Zack Snyder's Justice League. Don't get me wrong, I love Zack Snyder's Justice League, but I do think that is one thing Avengers here overall did better. So, unfortunately, now we do have to move on to the bad, though, because Avengers does have a few bad things here. I know, just why, though? Why would they do these things? Actually, it makes sense. So, the first thing here is obvious. Hawkeye's underutilized. I mean, he probably could have just not been in the film. It would have been fine. But, yeah, Hawkeye was still a fun character. I thought he was pretty entertaining. It's Jeremy Renner, of course. He's got to be great. But he's not the best character. He's pretty underdeveloped. He doesn't get much to do. For most of the movie, he's just Loki's pawn, so nothing too special there. He's fine. He's a good character, I think, but he definitely gets better in future movies, especially with, I think, Age of Ultron, especially Endgame. And the next thing here is Captain America's suit is just bad. The bottom part isn't too bad, but then when you get to the mask, it's just, why? That's just not good looking. No. I get that I try and go old-fashioned, but I still don't like it, and I'm pretty sure I like every other suit Captain America has worn in the MCU more than this one. And also, Captain America in general, he's not as cool in this movie as he is in future movies, or even, I would say, Captain America the First Avenger. I liked him more in that movie than I do here. I still like him here, but I do think he was better in some of his other movies than he is in this movie here. And the last thing here is the simplicity of the story. It's very simple, straightforward. Loki is charging an invasion on Earth, and he wants to dominate the world. Very simple. But for this first Avengers movie, where it's just the magic of seeing everyone team up, it works. It fits perfectly with the film. And I don't have a problem with it. I can see how other people may have a problem with it, however, and just, oh, there's nothing too special with story. It's not deep storytelling. It's not deep storytelling. It's just a fun story to get you through the motions, the emotions, the action. It's necessary. It's nothing great? No. But is it solid? Yes. Is it perfect for the film? Absolutely. So, in conclusion, The Avengers, it's an iconic film. Everyone, just about everyone at least likes it. I'm in the category that loves this movie. I love it so much, especially thinking about 2012, how epic this movie was back then, and going into watching it now, completing Phase 1 and getting up to the Avengers. It's so satisfying to watch it, and I love it. It's such a satisfying conclusion to Phase 1. I mentioned a few problems, but really those are nitpicks and doesn't detract my enjoyment from the movie very much at all. I could also say that the beginning was a bit slow, but it's necessary setup, so I don't really mind it, and you're spending more time with the characters, and especially Mark Ruffalo's Hulk, because, you know, actor swap. But, yeah, love the Avengers, and, you know, Stark's sacrifice thing, that really pays off well to the line of Steve saying he isn't willing to make the sacrifice play, and even those lines where Tony and Steve are exchanging roles sets up so well for the future. But 96% amazing film. I absolutely love the Avengers. It's one of the best comic book films of all time, in my opinion. Just amazing movie. Absolutely love it. So comment down below, guys, what do you think of the first Avengers? Tell me what other content you would like to see from me in the future. Check out some of my past MCU reviews. I have Iron Man, Hulk, Iron Man 2, Thor, and Captain America reviewed. I have a nice MCU playlist. We could all check that out. And yeah, please like and subscribe, and check out some of my future content. I'm really excited to move on forward. I'm still a very new channel. I only started, 3 weeks ago? I think I started late February or early March, something like that. Oh, this video is up. So I'm going to leave you a nice clip here of the MCU, and I'm just going to go now. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.